This is the Climate Story Project, where we share real stories about how climate change is shaping our lives. Stories that connect us, stories that move us to act. This is a project of the New York Climate Exchange, a nonprofit organization that's accelerating climate solutions through our unique partnership model and climate campus on Governor's Island. This Climate Week NYC, we invited the public to tell us their climate story. The story you're about to hear is from Lucas Veloso, a participant at our American Museum of Natural History pop-up. Here's what Lucas had to say.
I'm from Brazil, from a city called Belo Horizonte, which is in the mountains. So I'm not in the Brazilian beaches. Growing up in the mountains, it was really, really good in terms of climate because it was fresh air, good temperature. My city was recognized as good for those who have problems in the lungs, tuberculosis, to be treated, but it's not anymore because of pollution, of the temperature that still rises. The rain seasons, they changed a lot. We used to have seasons of rain and easygoing summer and not difficult winters. And now we are facing the extremes without prediction. And this is impacting not only humans, but the wildlife. It was so diverse, and now we are missing many birds, we are missing many types of animal lives. Actually, I always go to my grandpa's house, and I remember when I was a child, my grandpa was always eating bread without a plate. So he was always spilling the pieces of bread, and I remember, I can vividly recall the birds entering in his living room and eat the bread crumbles. And for the last 10 years, I never saw that scene anymore. Although, thanks, my grandpa is still there and I'm not seeing those birds. So this is a thing that affects me when I reflect. It's also a call for us to reflect what space or voice does nature have in our democracies. They should also have been listened, or at least considered in our political decisions, in what we eat, in what we are doing. And I think this connection with nature, nature is not only a background, or they are not objects for us to pleasure our senses. They are beings that are suffering for choices that they didn't made. And also, when I see my grandpa, also, he's 97 years old, and sometimes we think mental health and climate are not connected, but I have been seeing him developing anxiety of what is happening, of it will rain tomorrow, today will be extremely hot, how can I will sleep tonight, I will be able to sleep with this temperature. So it's not only something that is external, that people are suffering inside in themselves. I think that we are creating a vicious circle where the climate, especially in Brazil, is getting warmer, and we need much more electronics and something to cool our environments. We can't go to anywhere in Brazil without have air conditioner or have at least a fan. And this we spend more energy, and this makes the environment goes worse. So what we are doing is creating more dependencies, and those dependencies are sometimes destroying more the world. But we have alternatives. Right now it's difficult to conceive what would be a climate safe world given the actual state of affairs. But I think that better war is possible, of course, but it would demand us to reconnect with nature, having more concern to our surroundings, to have more spaces where humans can interact with nature. And I think COVID-19, which was really a crisis, a global crisis, if one thing that I recall of that time that made me reflect, when the cars stopped, the industries also many shut it down for a bit, is that nature can regenerate. This is something that gives me hope. If we stop a little bit and if we do small changes and create a space for nature to regenerate itself, it can happen. So I have been working with this project about citizen assemblies, and we discovered that when people have the opportunity to come together, to put their differences a little bit aside and to listen to each other, they start to understand that they are facing a collective problem, that they can do something together, that can, despite those differences, they can co-create a better world for them. I think we need to inject energy on people's courage to think that the world can be different, that we have agency, that people have power, and if we all agree that we can create a better world, a better nature, it's possible to do. So if we conceive that with more democracy, we can make more bold changes.
This story is part of the Climate Story Project. To find more stories and learn more about the New York Climate Exchange, visit nyclimateexchange.org and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. This episode was produced by Kylie Miller. Thanks for listening.